Hello, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. For those who do not know me, I am ASMR Majestic, Majestic, Majestic. Welcome to the Majestic family. Please remember to hit that like button, and please remember to hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 12K. Matter of fact, let's see where we are right now real quickly. According to YouTube Studios, we are at 11,930. So we are creeping. So in today's video, I know I don't always respond right away to my comments, but I do read them. And this particular subject came up more than once within, I would say, like the last 3 months. And that is my breast reduction. Somebody asked me to do a story time about my breast reduction because they are thinking about doing so. I gave a longer version on Patreon about my breast reduction, but I can summarize it real quickly into a story time under 30 minutes. I will no longer be doing long videos on YouTube. If you like longer videos, please think about joining my Patreon. But moving forward, I will just be doing videos no longer than 30, like 30, 32-ish, And so, let's talk about it. So, for those who did not know, now you know. I have had a breast reduction. Now, I was in my I want to say, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to say I was, I don't know, maybe like 25, 26, 27-ish. I don't know. Something around then, my mid-20s. I always wanted smaller boobs. Let's talk about it, right? So my entire family is big-chested, right? And as a, older woman now, I can appreciate boobs a little bit more, right? But when I was younger, I was really, 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 really small. When I say really, really small, I was barely 100 pounds, like going into high school. And then after high school, I was like, 110? I was really, really small. But I also had these really big bonkers, bazookas, boobies, whatever you want to call it, right? And I hated it. I hated it because, I used to be made fun of, or I would have the opposite effect that, like, guys would never talk up here, they would always talk down here. And I was so self about it. You have no idea. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, I remember when that girl group came out, TLC. Not only was I impressed on how beautiful those three ladies were, I was also very jealous of their breast size. Let's talk about it. I'm being honest. I wanted to have small boobs. I wanted to be able to wear a tank top with no bra, and I wanted to wear the type of shirts they wore, and I wanted to look like that, right? So I would do anything. I would try to wear sports bras, not realizing that sometimes sports bras, they squish your boobies, but then it makes them look like, I don't know, actually bigger, if that makes sense. But I thought I was doing something. I remember one time I even went as far as like trying to tape my boobies down, okay? And then as I got older, I thought I found a solution. I absolutely thought I found a solution. I did not. They came out with something called minimizer bras. Ladies, I know some of y'all are probably laughing right now. Oh yes, I thought the minimizer bras were my answer. I absolutely thought it was. It wasn't until I started looking at pictures and realized that now my boobs look like ice cream cones. They were so pointy. So I guess the minimizer, like, it helped it this way, and it just looked like I had cones for tits. It just was horrible. And then I would be made fun of that. So it's like I just could not freaking win. Another big problem I had, because I was so small, right? I'm not even kidding. I was like, my prom dress was like a size 2-4. It was, but the problem is, like, I had to buy, although I was like a 2 or a 4, I had to buy like an 8 or a 10 just because of my breast. And then I would have to get the dress altered. And that was it with any fancy function I had, whether it was a homecoming, Christmas dance, proms, because I went to my prom and then my high school sweetheart's prom. So I always had to get everything altered, and I used to hate going clothes shopping. I just hated it. I even had the same problems with like my shirts. I would have to buy a bigger shirt because of my boobs, and then it would just be like so big here, and then my boobs, I hated it. And so I remember when my mother got her breast reduction, I was mad as hell. I was mad because I wanted to be her. I did. I wanted to be her. I wanted smaller boobs. It was what it was. So after high school, graduated, went to college, dropped out, came back home, and I got a job. I remember I wanted the same surgeon as my mother. Now here's the thing, when you're thinking about getting a breast reduction, you absolutely need to do your research with the doctor. You have to. You absolutely have to. With the surgery, like anything with cosmetic surgery, whether it's like your nose, your boobs, anything to alter your appearance, you definitely need to make sure you do your research on your surgeon. And so I wanted the same surgeon that my mom had, but unfortunately he did not take my insurance. So I thought that was it. I thought I couldn't afford it. My insurance didn't take it, and again, I was young back then. I probably should have said, what, no big deal, let me hop online, and find a doctor within my insurance. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I didn't do that. Or maybe I did and I couldn't find one. I don't know. Anyway, I gave up. Then, one day I was in the shower. I got out and I happened to look in the mirror and I was like, what the It was right here. I had the worst indentation. I had the worst discoloration, and it was here and here. And it was all because of my bra, the heaviness of my breasts, the bra straps, they were tight to hold them up. It was just, and I don't know, maybe I didn't pay attention before, but for some reason when I got out the shower that day and looked in the mirror, I was shocked. I really, really was shocked. By this point though, I was no longer like 110 pounds or whatever. I put on some weight because of birth control, depot to be exact. Ladies, don't ever do it. Don't you ever do that depot shot. That was definitely the beginning of my weight gain, and that is the God honest truth. It was that goddamn tempo, and even so, my gynecologist at the time wanted to take me off it because of how rapidly, like, my weight gain was happening. But anywho, so once I saw myself in the mirror, I decided to try again, and and at this point I had different insurance. Anyway, I found a doctor. I went into the office, my appointment. Now this was the funniest appointment ever, and I'm not telling you to do this, but this is what kind of happened to me. So when I went in, I was talking to the doctor, and as he's sitting there with the nurse with my file, and as he's writing notes, he's like, okay, right, so you are very uncomfortable, right? And I'm like, well, right. I'm like, yeah. So he's writing more things down, and he's like, you have a lot of back problems because your breast is so big, right? I'm like, right. Here's the thing, that was not the reason. I just was over it. My breast for me was miserable. I was miserable. What he was trying to do though, he was trying to fill out my insurance papers, because there are certain procedures that the insurance will cover if it's needed. Like for instance, if you're trying to get a nose job and a doctor is saying, you have problems breathing with that nose, then they would cover something like that, because it's not really considered cosmetic to make you look prettier. It's because you can't breathe. And same thing with breast reduction. If it's causing me pain, back pain, and all that stuff, medically, they have to go. They're too heavy for my body frame. And so that's what the doctor was saying, like, yeah, so you have back pain, right? And you're miserable, right? And this is and that. And what do you know? I have no idea how this man worded my insurance stuff, but next thing you know, my insurance actually covered the entire procedure with not 1 cent. Not a one cent. So I was excited, and on top of that, when you do get a breast reduction, they also lift. They also kind of give you like a breast lift, because again, they're heavy, they are hanging, and now that they're smaller, they kind of give you a breast lift. So a bitch was excited. Also, too, I also want to point out, and I am very serious, more than 80% of y'all watching my video right now is not in the proper bra size. Oh, I am telling you, the bra size I was wearing compared to what Victoria's Secrets was telling me, and compared to what the doctor did. So let's just say, let me just see something. Wait, oops. Right, that's what I thought. And so, I can't actually tell you what size bra I was wearing because I don't remember. I know the cup size, so all I know is that I was trying to rock a D. Yo, when the doctor and Victoria's Secrets, I actually should have been in the F cup. Oh yes, a F cup. I was big. I was beyond a double D. I was an F. Like, I was wearing the wrong bras. I was trying to push things in. It was just horrible. And that was probably half the battle, is not me not having the right cup size, bra size. You know, I didn't understand bras back then, you know, what the actual, you know, like what's, you know, the 38 mean. You know, I didn't know that was back size. And, you know, then people wonder why some people have like the back fat under their shirts, because you're not wearing the right size bra. You know, maybe you thought you were 38, but maybe you should be in a 42. There's just a lot of things. And you know, I was wearing bras with like the spillage, didn't know they should be shoved in. There was a lot going on, you know, and these are conversations that a lot of people, I guess, really don't want to have with their parents. I just thought I was getting it right. Anyway, I was not. But I also remember Tyra Banks saying that one time, that most females are not wearing the right size bra. And so anyway, he did inform me that I would have to spend one night in the hospital, and that is that. So I'm excited. My insurance approved it. It's now operation surgery daytime. I'm excited. I go in, blah blah blah. They put me to sleep. When I wake up, baby, when I tell you, I wanted to die. Now, I'm not here to, you know, deter someone's decision on getting, you know, a breast reduction. I am not here for that, because I did it. And, you know, although everything I went through, I would absolutely do it all over again. But I am here to tell you the God honest truth on what I went through. My story, maybe somebody else didn't find it painful. I don't know. This is my experience. Again, when I got up, I was like, absolutely not. I was in so much pain. First off, I had a tube inside, like a drain coming from the side of my breast. On top of that, when I woke up, I also had a catheter in me, which means that they did not want me getting out the bed, that they wanted me the catheter was there to collect my urine. All I literally had to do was just rest. Y'all, it was so painful, and I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of times when we have surgeries, right, we don't understand muscles tense up. You'll feel it. Go like this, and then turn your head like this. You feel the muscles right here. Pain, absolute pain. Okay, turning this way, more pain. So I couldn't even turn my neck. Even lifting arms, you'll be surprised on how many muscles are connected to your boobs, breast area, all of it. It hurt. I have never, listen, especially the Patreon family, I have been through some shit. I absolutely have been through a lot. Awake, not awake. My body has been through a lot. When I tell you that my breast surgery and my leg surgery was one of the worst pains I have ever endured. And again, if you're on Patreon, you know my attack story. So if I'm telling you that my breast reduction and my leg surgery was worse than that shit, you need to listen. You absolutely need to listen. I am telling you every movement. Again, you will be surprised how many muscles are connected to your breast assist. Next day, the doctor comes in. He removes the catheter. He tells me that I have to see him in 1 week, and that I had to keep like the tube in to drain. If you think you're walking out that hospital with a regular shirt, you're sadly mistaken. There is no raising your arms. Oh, there's none of that shit. There's not even like doing this. Doing this was freaking torture. What? So for at least like 3 months, I was in button-up shirts. Yep. And I remember I couldn't even like raise my arms, so my mother had to like, drop the sleeve really to put it over me. I couldn't even like bring my arms together to even button it. I'm telling you, it is the most painful thing I have ever. Oh my god. I'm trying to be honest so you guys can be 100% prepared. And then I go home. Okay. I'm gonna tell you like this. If I had to complain about one major thing about this surgery, it was my back. I remember I actually had a meltdown. I broke down and I cried. My back was in so much pain. Let me tell you why. If you are a side sleeper, you're you are up. If you are a side sleeper, you are fucked up. Period. You are. I think it took me probably like 3 months to officially completely sleep on one of my sides, and one side was better than the other. But yeah, all you can do is sleep on your back. All you can do is sit up on your back. The strain, so either you're like this and all that pressure is on your back, and then when you lay back, you are again on your back. I had my mother try to go out and buy like back pillows, and she would put like all these pillows to orange no matter what she did. A pillow under my leg, on my side. I just one day just really started crying. The back pain in that bed was just so, oh my god. this man, I don't even want to tell y'all this part because I would do it all over again. But when that man pulled out that tube from my breast, it was one of those, if like the nurse wasn't behind me and the doctor grabbed me, I was going to pass out. What? And he kept on pulling. I was like, oh my God. And he told me to take a breath and let it out. And y'all, no. No, sorry, Bob. Nope. I almost passed out that shit. And then I remember going into the hallway. And I remember leaning against the wall because I literally had to catch my breath. Them pulling that tube out. I couldn't even catch a breath. I just was like, what the fuck just happened? It just, that definitely was a what the F moment. And then I guess the nurse looked at me. I don't even know, but then I realized the doctor kind of peeked in the hallway and he pulled me back inside because, like I said, it took my breath away. And so he actually upped my pain medication because it just, all in all, I would say for that, I was probably on pain meds for maybe 3 weeks. And then, and actually, out of all my surgeries, that was probably the longest I was on pain meds for the breast reduction. Jesus Christ. And then it just sucked. It just sucked all around. Now, as far as like scars are concerned, let me just see something. I had to make sure because I forgot. So under the your nipple, like, so this is your nipple. Underneath it, going towards like under your rib cage, you have like a faint little line. Mine's faint maybe because it's been a while, but there is like a scar there, and then everything else is literally under your breast. You don't see it from the side, this and that. So actuality, like if I come to you like this, walking forward, right, you can't see any scars. And now unless you lift up my boob a little bit and see like the underline, then, but overall, to the naked eye, you can't even tell. I'm also going to be honest about this next part. If you are a person that gets pleasure out of your nipples in any sexual way, you might want to rethink about doing this surgery. Because what happens is they do have to remove your nipple and then put it back. And so the sensation is completely, you lose all feeling and sensation. Now, that being said, my mother still has no feeling in either one of her nipples, right? Sorry, Mom. But for me, I would say like maybe like 2 years. I would say 2 years. The feeling in my nipples came back. Now the doctor will tell you that there is a 50-50 chance. Sometimes it will come back, sometimes it will not. For my mother, it did not. For me, it did. So, but it took like 2 years, and like to have the complete feeling back the way I wanted it to have it back, I would say at least a good 4 years that everything came back, you know, how it should be. So, that's something you should also think about. mean, I guess that's true, but for me, no. So I forgot to tell you. So I was actually like a F. I went from an F to a medium to large C cup. So I went from an F to a medium to large C cup. Majorities of my bras are C cups, and like anything else, like any brand, depending on the brand of bra, maybe a D, but even the D cups might be a little, like I still have to go back down to the C, but again, it depends. But overall, I can't really say that I went up in any cup size because I've been the same cup size from the day I had my surgery up until me telling the story. And from the time I had surgery, I gained over 100 pounds from my illness and everything else. So I put on a lot of weight, lost, 80 pounds of it. But my point is that with the amount of weight gain that I gained, my cup size never went up. The cup size, now the size definitely went up, because as you get bigger, your back gets bigger. It is what it is. But as far as my cup size is concerned, nope. So I don't know if that just was me, or if what else. So before, I could never wear like sports bras like this. My boobs are still perky, so again, I would absolutely do all over again. I do not no longer have those problems with shirts or dresses or anything like that, just getting it altered just because of my boobs. To be honest, I would absolutely do it all over again. I like my cup size as a full C, and I think, honestly, I don't know if I knew what I knew now in regards to like wearing the right bra and, being, having breasts is a good thing, besides me trying to hide it, but if you have insecurities, you have insecurities, and mine was definitely my breast. So they had to go. Best decision ever. Worst pain ever. I'm being honest. Jesus Christ. Oh, yikes. I don't know. The only thing though I would say that I was nervous about is that I thought like because I, being a black woman, and this happens to a lot of black women, we keloid a lot, and so I was paranoid about that, but I didn't get no keloid. Matter of fact, I mean, I know I'm in the dark now, but even my cancer surgery scar, that was one of my biggest fears. I was gonna have like the biggest keloid like right here, but no, it did not. I keloid mainly like on the back of my ears, or like when I had my belly button pierced, it formed like a small keloid, maybe just in my ears though. I don't know. I had when I got this one pierced the first time, it got a keloid. I got that removed and I pierced the shit again. But when I pierced the shit again, I didn't get a keloid the second time. So I don't know. Now I'm just rambling. Let me go. I hope I answered all questions to everyone's satisfaction. So overall, would I do it again? Yes. Am I happy with the results? Yes. Did it hurt like all hell? Yes. Is it painful like all hell? Yes. I'm being honest. Just make sure you have all those button-up shirts. Make sure you have, the pillows for your back and stuff for sleep purposes, because the side, that's gonna be a minute. So, I think that's about it. So, on that note,